Hey everybody, it's Roberto. Doing a little vlogging here in front of the bookcase in preparation of the book reviews that are coming to the channel. So I know you guys are super excited about that. Books are awesome, right? Books can inspire us and help us create awesome. But that's not what I really want to talk about today. Today I want to talk about the fact that YouTubers are just human beings. There's a lot of reasons I want to talk about that. One is the fact that I've been reading Lindsey Stirling's new book, The Only Pirate at the Party, which is really fantastic. If you guys don't know who Lindsey Stirling is, there will be a link to her YouTube channel in the description and maybe in an annotation here somewhere. Also, I'll link up the book so that you can get that. But it's a really great book. It's about her journey, everything that her life was about before becoming a YouTuber, during becoming a YouTuber, becoming world famous as a musician. And it's just a tremendous read. It's great, but it also brought up some interesting stuff for me personally. One, it made me think more about my childhood and how I think about how I grew up and where I came from and what that journey has been like, more than I've thought about it. I have been thinking about it a lot more lately as certain things change in my life and as the business grows and as I've been growing as a human being, especially through the channel and through the relationships that I've been building. But it made me think of it from a completely different perspective. And it also made me think about my own journey as a YouTuber and the fact that as much as people make a little much of like what's happened with the channel or with the business or with other things I've been doing, interviews, exposure, what have you, I still see the same person in the mirror every day, and I still see things that you guys don't. I still see all of my flaws and all of my weaknesses as a human being, all my mistakes as a business person, all my, quote unquote failings as an artist in some areas where I want to grow. Those things make me human and they make me a human being, but it gets magnified to an insane extent when you have an audience and when you have a following, and people don't realize how much sometimes that can be a bit of a burden, and it paints this target on your back, because you have to think sometimes when it's like, it's not just one person that might be saying something about you in the comments. It's like 100 people that they don't see, or it's like the 100th time you've had to hear the same crap over and over when it's negative. And that's a lot. I mean, just literally imagine anytime you were a kid and somebody said something mean to you on the bus or at the bus stop and then everyone chimed in. Magnify that by 10,000 and you start to get an idea of what being a YouTuber is like after a certain point, or even when you're just getting started out. So many of my friends who are smaller YouTubers have been telling me that they've been taking so much crap and so much hate in their comments and from trolls, and people just say get a thick skin and get over it, but they don't realize how hard it is to put yourself out there in the first place. There's so many people who have told me that they have not pursued building an online business or using social media or putting themselves out there. Even people who are some of the most confident business people, or they're super friendly and extroverted in real life, they are so afraid to get onto YouTube or to any of these platforms because people have made it an unsafe, an unhealthy, and unattractive environment and place for them, and that's really terrible. There's so many of my friends who are female YouTubers, big and small, who can tell me horror stories about their experience on YouTube, and that's just really disheartening to me. And I feel like people don't have enough integrity today, and people really should be ashamed of themselves for doing that and for harassing people. And it's just so bad, and it's so much the wrong thing, and it really bothers me because even in reading Lindsey's book, I saw things that I didn't know about her and struggles that she went through and some of her own internal demons and flaws and things in her own head, and it really hit a chord with me. There were so many parts of this book that made me laugh, but there were also parts of this book that literally brought me to tears in a way I haven't been brought to tears since the freaking Lion King. Yeah, everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about, and I don't care who you are, I don't care what kind of grown man or grown woman you are. If you did not tear up during that specific scene in The Lion King, you don't have a freaking soul, I swear. But, you're a horrible human being. But, no, in all seriousness, though, there's just some things that when you read or you experience them or you think about them or you watch someone go through them that, really hit you, where you live and hit you home, and that's real talk. So I want people to remember that, people in YouTube, people in social media, people on the internet, people even who are like on television or wherever it is, it's like these are human beings. These are just human beings like you. They're somebody's kid. There's somebody's like, special somebody. There's somebody's wife or husband. There's somebody's parent. And like really think about that, and then think about how the people in your life would feel if someone was treating you that way. um, you know think about whether the people in your life would be ashamed if they knew what you were saying or how you were making somebody feel, because in the end of the day, regardless of what you accomplish, your life and your legacy comes down to how you made people feel about you. And if I have a regret in life, aside from wishing that I'd taken more shots at everything, um, you know, asking for like the amount of money I wanted in certain situations, asking more girls out when I was younger, like all of those things, that aside, my biggest regrets, even though I've been a good person, the overwhelming majority, 9 times out of 10, out of any situation in my life, it's the times when I feel like I wasn't my best self, or wasn't a good person, or didn't react to something well, or didn't treat someone as well as I could. Or that if I have to think about that or explain that situation one day to children when I have them, of like what I did in a single moment, it's the thing that I'm going to regret or that I'm going to feel ashamed of. Like I literally lose sleep at night about the people that I feel I didn't treat better, even as an 8-year-old, even letting myself off the hook and knowing that, like, you didn't understand this thing or that thing when you were 8 years old enough to understand that, and, you did this thing or you did that thing. It still bothers me. It still bothers me. I legitimately lose, sleep over that. I lose sleep over the self-awareness sometimes of not realizing, like at 14 or 12 years old, when like a girl had a crush on me and not feeling like I treated them better or acknowledged their feelings. I feel bad about that even now at 32. I feel bad about stuff from 20 years ago in terms in terms of not making people feel important enough, or not making people feel special, or not respecting them enough, or not having a good relationship with them. That bothers me. It bothers me that I didn't go more out of my way to be considerate of somebody that I realized as an adult that I didn't realize as a child, that had minor childhood autism or Asperger's. Like there was like there was an OSPI kid that I barely can like remember, like unfortunately, but like looking back, I'm aware now of what that was because no one explained it to me, and I don't think people really knew back then. And like so that bothers me that I didn't stick up for that person more when they might have been being bullied. That really bothers me. There's so many things like that I think about, in the middle of the day or the middle of the night, that get to me, and like I need to get over some of those things a little bit, but it's like I want you to understand. I say this to say, like, again, I'm not a perfect person. I try every day to be a better person, is the thing I work the hardest at. Despite how hard I work at my business, despite how hard I work at marketing and building my brand, the thing that I'm the most proud of is that I can honestly say that every day I'm just trying to be a better human being. I'm trying to be more self-aware. I'm trying to respect my relationships and do right by people. And I really feel that more people should care about that and less about vanity, less about the number of subscribers they have. It's like if you're not commenting back to the majority of people or as many people as you can, why are you worried about getting more subscribers? If you're not respecting the viewership that you have, why do you want more? If you're letting this become more important than the real people in your life that support you every day, then why are you doing that? I really want people to remember those things, but then also I want them to remember that people like me, anyone that you're watching, people like Lindsey, we're all just human beings too. We're all going through our own journey and our own struggles, and no matter how quote unquote big anybody gets, they're still a human being. They still have feelings, they still have doubts, they still have insecurities, they still have bad days, they still go through stress, they still have anxiety. They might be going through things you never thought of. They might have an invisible illness, they might have a disability, they might have, something that they're dealing with mentally. They might have anything from ADD to anxiety and depression, something I dealt with and had to overcome. They might have an eating disorder. You just don't know. And for you to disrespect or abuse or belittle or mock those people or make them more self-conscious or give them more grief than they might already be going through because you think they should be able to take it, or you think they should develop a thicker skin, or you have an opinion about them, I would just encourage you to think about, what if that was the person that you love the most in this world? How would you want them to be treated? Not even how would you want to be treated. I want you to really think about the person that you care about the most, whether that's your mom, your dad, your kid, your sister, your brother, a boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. I want you to think about the person that you most care about in this world, the person you would put everything on the line for, and then ask yourself, if somebody said or did horrible things to them, how would that make you feel? How would you want to respond? And wouldn't you just wish that that person had closed their mouth or been a human being or been kinder? I really challenge all of you to really think about that. So just take the time to respect people, respect your relationships, treat everyone in your life well. Realize that everyone's a human being, whether they're a celebrity, whether they're a YouTuber, whether they're a stranger on the street. They matter. They have value. There's someone that cares about them, and on some level you should be one of those people. And I would just really encourage you to really think about that, and to really ask yourself, if somebody said this to your mom or your dad, I want you to think about that before you ever, if you're watching this, go into someone's comments and decide to be mean or rude or callous or careless with your words. I really want you to think about, what if that was your mom, or what if that was your kid, or what if that was the person that means the most to you in this world? How would you feel, and what would you want done? And then maybe you should reconsider whatever you're doing or saying. And that's just how I feel about it. So anyway, that was a little heavy. I do want to encourage you guys to have a great day. I know this was not the funnest topic in the world to cover, but you know what? I am going to plug Lindsey's book. I'm going to tell you that you should definitely buy this book. If you want to use my Amazon affiliate link, that would help me out a little bit. But even if you don't, just get the book because it's a good read. I did decide to opt for the physical rather than the digital because, one, I think it'll look nice on the shelf. I wanted to support Lindsey, and two, I'm trying to do some of the hard copy stuff, even though carrying this around is much more convenient, because I feel like it'll give my eyes a little bit of a rest. I think I'm in front of the screen too much, and there's something that feels really good about reading a physical book sometimes. So I want to do a little bit more of that. Anyway, book reviews will be coming to the channel, guys, so make sure you're subscribed and staying tuned for that. If you thought this was interesting and you want me to do more vlogs and stuff like that, let me know in the comments, and let me know how you feel about what I had to say. Let me know if you've had an experience recently with people bullying you or mistreating you online, and let me know what you think we can do to just make the experience of YouTube and other online communities better and safer for everybody. I'm probably going to have a tutorial coming up at some point about aggressive spam filtering and how you can stop those things from showing up live in your feed, and just how you can kind of protect yourself from that. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to get that video. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. I got a lot more things that I've got to take care of today. I also need to probably double up on some health things because I'm getting the sniffles. But yeah, just treat everybody as well as you can, and remember to go out there, create awesome experiences for every human being that you encountered, and just go and do that. All right? Thanks. Take care.